Hello, this is Mary Jo Fox, and I'd like to share with you some updated information for QRIs and the Journeys Cold Read. Why make these changes? Well, we received feedback from our classroom teachers on the MTSS team last year, so in 2014-15, that some students were very familiar with some of the QRI passages. When we went and did a data analysis of the QRI usage, it confirmed what the teachers were stating. So the purpose for our changes are for our assessments to provide the most accurate information possible. What are these changes? In this screencast, I'll be sharing information about when we administer QRIs and to whom we administer them to, some new beginning of the year guidelines, and how to communicate information to parents about the student's reading level. Just as an FYI, and this information will be developed further in January, we do have some different titles for the QRIs. And for grades 1 through 3, we have identified a threshold for where they would stop testing. It's a moot point in 4th grade because your threshold is at a QRI 7. We also have a limited use of QRIs in the primary grades, with kindergarten not using them at all. All the information I'm going to be sharing with you, though, can be found in the packet that was distributed on August 7th at the district in-service. Now, the protocols for QRI assessments will stay the same, but they're only done at the end of the year, and at that time they're done on all students. Because we're doing them on all students, one thing that we have done is we've widened that time frame for when you can administer it. Above level and strong on-level students can be assessed in the 3rd quarter. We're hoping that this will minimize disruption to your instruction. I would, however, recommend that for below-level students that you wait until May to assess them so you have more time to work with them in their small group reading groups. Now, our grade level expectations have not changed. It is still the expectation that when students are leaving 4th grade, so in May or 2nd semester, students will be reading at a QRI 5. In May, any student who is reading at a QRI 4 or below will be considered reading below grade level. Students reading at a QRI 6 or above will be considered above grade level. Now, you might be wondering, if you can't do a QRI at the beginning of the year, what should you use to get to know your students? Well, this year, 2015, we have an optional field test of using the Journeys Cold Read. In 2016, it will be required. And I'll be talking a little bit more about that in the next couple of slides. You also can use the district beginning of the year assessment that we have had consistently, and we had the revised one that started last year. You also can look at the students' 3rd grade end of the year QRIs or their reading level to know where to place them in their small group reading. Now, in 4th grade, the Journeys Cold Read that we'll be using for the beginning of the year is the Gold Rush. That's available in the packet that's distributed on August 7th. That text is really where students should be at the beginning of 4th grade, and you could use it for all students reading at a QRI 2 or above. Now, what are you going to do for the students who at the end of 3rd grade were reading below a QRI 2? Well, the text, the Gold Rush, will be too difficult for them. So what you're going to use is the level of guided reading that the students had identified in their file for the end of 3rd grade. And so you'll choose a book at that level and find one that the student hasn't read before. You'll do a running record on it and ask students some comprehension questions, and that will help you get to know them as readers and know about their placement. For all other students, you're going to be using the Gold Rush, and it's a 2-part assessment. Part 1 is a running record that obviously is administered individually to each student, and you'll use our coding conventions. It'll also give us information on fluency and accuracy. So what you will be doing is you'll be having a timer to see how long it took students to read that text and to see if it's within the time frame. You'll also have the accuracy, so you'll know how students are reading and if they're self-monitoring. For the comprehension piece, students can look back in the text. So again, it is unlike the QRI in that respect. There will be 5 questions, 4 of them multiple choice, and 1 constructed response. With targeted students, you should have them answer the comprehension questions individually with you reading the questions. For on and above level students, what you can do is give students a copy of the text and the questions, and they can go and answer the questions independently. They can reread it and they can look back in the text. Now, how are you going to communicate information with parents? Well, you won't be using a QRI until the end of the year, but for some students, you will have their QRI level from 3rd grade. Please do not share the actual QRI reading level, either in writing or orally, with parents. Just identify for parents if their child is reading on, above, or below the grade level expectations. If the parents want more information, show them a copy of the text that's considered on grade level. Because this is something new and a new protocol, you might have some parents that are very adamant about finding out their students' reading level. That's when to please just refer them to your principal. If you have any questions, please visit with your building IRT or your grade level IRTs, Courtney Hollenbeck and Janet Milford. Also, always feel free to contact me, Mary Jo Fox. You could reach me via email or call the IRC. Thank you very much.